Nobody's talking about praying. And is it no wonder why we need tragedy? Why Papa has to allow tragedy? Because without it, you're not praying. Not really, are you? You don't get up in the morning or the afternoon or the evening, fall on your knees and pray and intercede without asking God for something personally. You're not praying about people you don't know, or even you barely pray about the ones you do know. Are you praying? Or are you going to wait for the doctors to come back with a result on a blood test that you've got ALS or some sort of immune disease or cancer or tumor? You're waiting for Hamas to take your mother and father, your wife, and your baby captive in a tunnel. Now you're praying. Waiting to figure out, will a rescuer come? Your ship is dead in the water. You praying now? Of course you are. You'll pray in an earthquake. You'll pray in a hurricane. You'll pray in a tornado. You'll pray all kinds of things. The collapse of the stock market, the real estate market, your job, your company, your contracts, obviously your health. Is that the only thing to pray about? Is that the only purpose of prayer? Well, what were you doing before the bad news came, before the crash of the market, before the doctor told you that terminal condition you have to deal with? What were you doing? Were you praying before all of that? Were you loving God? Were you looking and seeking? Did you pay attention to others who actually were in a worse situation than you? Did you pray as hard for them as you prayed for yourself? Probably not. So you got to ask yourself, what does it take to teach me to pray? And why does it have to be a tragedy? Because your heart ain't right. When your heart is right, it won't take a tragedy, it won't take a calamity, it won't take a catastrophe. It won't take cancer. It's just a changed heart. That's what makes us pray.
And when the Lord answers your prayer, you forget about Him. They say, there are no atheists in the trenches. When you're in war, everybody's praying. Or more accurately, you get somebody to pray. Like in that movie Hacksaw Ridge, if you've seen that movie. Of course, at the beginning they were all mocking him. But then, they wouldn't go into the battlefield unless he prayed first. Now, they weren't praying, they just wanted him to pray. And I'm sure that after the battle was done, they didn't give God the glory. If it went good, they would give the guy, the one who prayed. They would thank him. And nevertheless, when the war is over and the soldiers have returned home safely, are they going to be God-fearing men and keep His commandments now and live their life in righteousness and do what is just in the sight of God? Probably not. Because the truth is, you're not interested. You only want something from God. You're not interested. People would pray when they're suffering, when they're sick. Like I said, no atheists in the trenches. But as soon as the soldiers come out of the trenches, they forget about God. And if they are praying and they're in dire need, disaster, and the chances are slim, oh God, save us, save us. And all of a sudden the Allied forces come and save them and get them out. They forget about God. They say, no, God, no, it was the Allied forces that got us out. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Think about it when you read a book, right? You all know Lord of the Rings. Everybody knows that. When they're sitting there in that castle surrounded by orcs, and they're about to be eliminated, and all of a sudden Gandalf shows up behind the hill with that army of the guy that went away and is bringing all these soldiers and they're running into the castle to save the day. Well, let me ask you something. Who saved the day? Was it Gandalf's? Or was it, I forget his name, Tolkien, J.R. Tolkien, or whatever his name is, the author that saved the day? That will bake your noodle. Was it the character that he made up in his imagination that saved the day, or was it the author that decided to put the character there and give the character the role of saving the day? So does it matter which character God used to save you? Why would you not give God the glory if he is the author? And he is. Oh, sure, you can give him the blame too, but if you want to give him the blame, you also have to give him the glory. It's a double-edged sword. You have to acknowledge that he is God, and then you can start reasoning and giving him the glory for the good if you want to blame him for the bad. But too many people, for them, it's either there is no God at all, or there is only God for the bad. They deny God, but if you bring God up, the first thing they do is accuse him of all the bad things. And I'm just confused. How come you don't give him the glory for the good? So either there's no God, or if there is God, he's guilty, but nothing good. You bunch of devils. You all are just revealing what is within your heart. You don't want to give God glory. And when he saves you, you give glory to whoever comes and not the God who sent them. And that's going to be your judgment.
And remember this. Yeshua is called the author and finisher of our faith. The author, the writer. Adonai Yetevahe wrote the story with the finger of God. His finger, he wrote on stone tablets and then wrote on the hearts of men. He's the author and finisher. You know, they give, rightfully so, awards to the Hollywood movie people. The Writer Guild Award for the writers, the screenwriters. The Emmys for the ones who wrote the TV show. Have you ever seen a character that died in an episode that you like? The fans would write, "Bring him back. Bring him back. He's dead." Oh no. They rewrite the story and resurrect characters because the fans demanded it. Bring him back. Oh, we thought he was dead. Actually, he was in a state of a coma. They have all kinds of characters in movies that they kill off and bring back. Gandalf was one of them. There's always characters that people like, and the scriptwriter, the screenwriter, hears from the fans. Yeah, but that character, no, bring them back. And when they don't bring them back, what they do is bring them back by telling a backstory or an origin story or an altered universe so the fans can see their character again. Martha and Mary came to Yeshua. Lazarus is dead. Why didn't you stop him? We're upset with you allowing this to happen. You could have changed this. You could have rewrite the script. I can reverse the script, append the script. I can do all kinds of things. It's never too late. I'll write him back into the story. I'm going to come and resurrect him. I am the resurrection. See, Father has that ability. He's the writer. He wrote the script. He can flip the script, change the script, give you the back side, front side, inside out of the script. He can give it a multi-dimensional paradigm, an altered universe, an alternate universe. Oh, he's dead in here, but he's alive over here. You see how that works? That's God. That's how God does it.